Beyond Reach podcast gives the voice to brands, athletes, organizations in the outdoor space industry. Through open conversation, you're going to discover their stories, their successes and challenges, but also their vision. Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. It's a beautiful day here in Brazil, so I'm just enjoying it.
So, for the people that don't know you, can you present yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Juliette Duhaime. I am 25 years old. I was born in New Jersey, in the United States, and when I was 11 years old, I moved to Argentina, to Paraná, with my family, where my mom is from, and I lived there for about 12 years. And yeah, now I'm a professional stand-up paddleboarder that travels the world and loves to motivate and share the journey with everybody.
That's interesting. And so, how did you get into it? Because you were you born where you're living by the water? Because Argentina, you have some access to water, but not a lot. I don't know really much. But so, how did you get into paddleboard?
Yeah, so my whole life, my parents always took me to this beach called Long Beach Island in New Jersey.
Okay.
That was like our family vacation every year in July, August. And so I always grew up in the summertime there in the ocean, but always on like a boogie board or just body surfing or skimboarding. But I never ever tried surfing or paddleboarding or any kind of board sport like that. It wasn't until I was 19 years old or 18 when I tried stand-up paddleboarding for the first time. Actually, it was in New Jersey in a marina that my aunt took my family. Just one day she's like, hey, you guys want to try this thing that you stand up on a board and paddle? And we're like, yeah, sure. So we went, and I remember the people just kind of gave us the board and the paddle, and we're like, all right, come back in an hour and a half. And we're like, okay. And so we kind of just took off, kind of had to teach ourselves. And it wasn't like super interesting to me. Like, I just found it, all right, cool. Like, I had balance and it was good. But it wasn't until when I went back to Argentina a couple months later, I saw this guy on the river where I lived in Paraná. There's a big river that starts all the way in Brazil and goes all the way down to Argentina. And I saw him leading a group paddling. And I was like, oh, that's what I did. That looks cooler though. And so, yeah, I got his information. I sent him a message. His name is Francisco Justi, and I took my first lesson there and I loved it. It was a whole other story, like actually being taught how to paddle and all the story about the sport. And yeah, and then I haven't stopped since then.
So basically you started in the marina, like kind of like first lessons, and then you went to river SUP, which is very different. Like,
Yeah, so the river in Paraná, there's a really strong current. So you always start off going upriver and then come back with the current. And yeah, but it's not like super strong, like you can't paddle against it, but
okay.
it's definitely a good workout.
But I do know that it does exist, like the more extreme side of it, which is bigger river. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people can do that. It's like it doesn't look that enjoyable. It looks more dangerous than anything else. And so okay, so you went from this to river, but how did you get where you are now? Because just so you know, now you're doing competition at a high level, have a great following on social media. So like a 26 years old, like that is like pushing and leading the new generation, I would say. And so, how did you get into competition and where you're at right now?
Yeah, so the same guy that gave me that first lesson in the river, Francisco, he pretty much was the person that really motivated me to actually start competing. I had no idea that you could compete in stand-up paddleboarding. Like it was totally news to me. And it wasn't after like a couple months that he's like, all right, I'm gonna take you to your first competition. And it was like this local race that I started off in like amateur division, like all around boards. Sorry if it's kind of noisy. There's street noise. Um, and yeah, I actually won my first competition in the amateur division.
Okay.
So I was really stoked on that, and he was really excited. I was excited, and I just wanted more and more after that. And then I'm pretty sure I competed in a few more races like that, and then I switched to the race boards to 12-6 race boards.
Okay.
And yeah, and then that was a little harder division. And then after about a year and a half, I think, I won my first national title in long distance racing.
So for the in the US or Argentina?
Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, then I just kept competing in all local and national races. It was a really big challenge going to the ocean to the competitions that they had in Mar del Plata. Because we were from the river, like we were flat water paddlers, and we would go like 2 days before the race and just like try to figure out how to surf these big boards and not fall and go into the ocean passing the breakers. And it was such a challenge. And I just remember just having to just like send it, like just all right, it's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. Like I have really zero expectations. And yeah, and I just really learned by falling a lot and getting pounded by waves. And just like it was like you see me now in the waves like looking kind of comfortable, but it was a process. Like it was not one day to the other. Like it was really a lot of practice and fears that I had to overcome and everything, because I have zero surfing background. So yeah, it's just a lot of persistence and just trying and falling and getting back up.
That's cool. And so, so like I told you, I had Maggie LeBlanc on another episode, and one of the thing that is hard, like with those sports, like I've been doing kitesurfing competition, is the same problem, is the price of the gear. So how did you get your access to your first board, that could be your first amateur board, to what you have now? I know that Maddie said that she got her first board by making a trade during Christmas with her parents, saying, "Hey, I pay a half and you pay a half," kind of idea. How did you afford it?
Yeah, so it all goes back to the same guy, Francisco. Uh he had a stand-up paddle school. And he just lent me all these boards and paddles. And I my parents like didn't really have enough money at that time to help me out buying a board because it's so expensive. They did get me an inflatable board, like that was my first board, but the race boards were like super expensive. So Francisco just gave me the ones that he had, and this paddle that I look back at it and it's just aluminum, like heavy, tiny. It looks kind of like a kid's paddle because I'm short, but it's so funny to look back at that, like my first paddle, and then now like the quick blade paddles that I have. It's just like a huge leap. But yeah, so and even in like the races, I would use a board that maybe I like never used before, and I would just have to paddle on it and figure it out the day of the race. So yeah, so honestly, it was all thanks to Francisco. And then one day, my parents were able to help me buy a prone board, and then which I didn't really use.
Okay.
And then I traded that board for a race board, and then that board, I guess I sold it at one point, and yeah, it was this whole thing. But it all started out by someone lending me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is like, thank you, Francisco, if you're watching this.
He's a great person. He's actually well, he's a really good racer. He's multiple, I think like 8-time national Argentinian champion. And he's actually now in France for the ISA.
Cool. Well, if you have his contacts, we can have him on the podcast to see to have his version of it. That would be nice. Oh, okay. I have to train. I will. Maybe in a year. I will try. And okay, so now the other thing when you're an athlete is also the money. So you have multiple jobs as like a freelancer, and how did you get your like how many sponsors do you have right now? At what stage are you in your athlete's career? Like I know you have um some sponsors and they're allowing you to travel. How did you get the first sponsors, and how did you evolve to where you are right now with the traveling side of it?
Yeah, so currently I am sponsored by Infinity.
Okay.
They provide me with the race boards, and they're actually helping me travel to all these international events. Um, they gave me like a budget for Dave Bainey. He is just the best. He's from the beginning. Like after he saw me for the first time, he already like saw something in me and really has helped me so much um, to get to where I am now. So yeah, he's helped me get to the APP races last year and this year, and yeah, but then the rest is all out of my pocket. I like you said, I do freelance jobs like content creation, video editing, and all that. So, and sometimes I give like sub clinics around the world, and I just
Yeah.
try to get a little bit from everything and try to. And I live a simple life. Like I don't need much to
Yeah.
be happy. And pretty much every day, this is the same. Is train, eat, rest, repeat. So
Which is cool, and you can travel because you're freelance. That's also the very good side for you. And so you may so you're mainly dealing with Infinity, or do you have other little sponsors here and there?
yeah. So I also have QuickBlade. They sponsor me with the paddles.
Yeah.
Black Project sponsors me with the fins. And that's pretty much it. And then I have like some activewear and bathing suit sponsors from Argentina
Yeah.
that they give me stuff, but it's all like products.
And so where did you start it? Like so you went from the river sap to like with Francisco, your board and then your race and all that. What was your first sponsor? Like your was it wearing like shirts and stuff?
Yeah, I would say my first sponsor was um Extortion is actually it's a brand a paddle boards I'm sorry, a stand-up paddle board company
Okay.
in Argentina.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he gave me one race board for free, which was really awesome. And yeah, I think that his name is Mono Mosquera, and he's a wonderful guy, a great family, and they're super supportive. Even like nowadays, I whenever I go to Mar del Plata, which is where he lives, uh, him and his family just let me stay at their house and help me out with anything I need. So shout out to them. They're amazing.
And from him then you have like other sponsors that came and say, hey, like there is one guy sponsoring her, she's good, and so they came naturally, or you reaching out to the sponsors? What's your plan with that?
Yeah, I would say also not many came to me, but I definitely took the time to collect like a little portfolio and presented it to various brands. If it was like swimwear or whatever it was, I definitely put in the work to contact them. Like honestly, it wasn't that many people coming to me. It was more of me going to them.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it probably does help that your social media is active also. That's also very good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But as I said, it was a process. Like
yeah.
nowadays I look back and
It's been
it's
quick.
been a
Yeah, but it's been quick. It's been like almost 10 years, we would say.
it's been
Less.
6.5,
Yeah, 6.5.
7 years.
So it's very quick. Like so you have because you still have like a good 30, 40 years plus to enjoy stand up because this is the magic I feel from stand up powerball is that it's very accessible. Like you can start at 3 years old, even maybe sooner, and you can stand up powerball until 70, 60, like 80, whatever age. So that's a very good part. Um, so where do you see yourself in it's been 6 years and a half, 7 years, let's say. Where do you see yourself in the next 7 years? And where do you see yourself and the sport?
Yeah. So that's a great question. I think I definitely will have achieved my goals and desires to be a world champion um, in sprinting and in technical racing. Those are the two disciplines that I like the most. And honestly, probably in that many years, I'll hopefully have my own little academy, like school.
Okay.
That's my dream is to have like my own water sport um, academy
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it. I still don't know where in the world I want it to be because I kind of wanted to have a flat water, but I also wanted to have waves and some wind to do foil, wing foil, and all that. So we'll see. Wherever God takes me. But yeah, yeah, I would say that. And honestly, I just want to motivate as many people as I can to go after their dreams and do what they love and just that whole thing for me is more important than winning any medals or but also hopefully stand up paddle will be in the Olympics in 2028. So definitely going after that.
And that was one of my questions. I know you were going to talk about it at some point because that's something that everyone I think in water sport like is following is like, oh, this sport is in the Olympics. Oh, maybe this is going to be the next one. So yeah, talking about stand up paddleboard in 2028 for you between 1 and 10, what's the chance? And what support and like what kind of board and what kind of discipline do you see in the Olympics?
Yeah, so 1 out of 10, I think definitely a 10 that I'll be in the
Okay.
Olympics. Uh, yeah, I'm definitely that's the goal. I'd love to be an Olympian. It's a dream, and yeah, kind of bored. I would say the race boards, the 14-foot boards, and in sprinting or technical.
Okay.
For what I have heard and what they are talking about is that the technical is what they're going for the 2028.
Okay. Okay. And another question: would you race for the United States or for Argentina? Because you technically you can do both, right?
Yeah, I have dual citizenship. Um, I think it would be Argentina at the
Yeah.
moment, since that is who I've been representing because that's where everything started for me
Yeah.
and all that. But not gonna lie, I would love to represent the USA since that's where I was born.
Yeah.
That country.
There's also like I was thinking as an athlete there's maybe more support from the United States maybe for athletes. There's all like that's one of the things. Argentina is a good country. No, like they're really good, but maybe there is also a financial aspect that. But yeah, what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
and that you're totally right there.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know how. I think I would have to start competing in the US a couple years prior to the Olympics, and also obviously like try out and go to ISA for USA.
Yeah.
So that would be not racing, not competing for Argentina in any ISA for at least a year.
Okay.
And yeah, this year I'm not there just because of financial reasons. Um, so who knows? Maybe it's the plan, and next year I start racing for USA. But honestly, I don't know.
Pretty hard. It's
I
pretty
love
hard.
both countries. I honestly, but we'll see.
Yeah. You could be the Maradona of in the stand-up paddleboard, right? That'd be nice. Uh, okay. Next question would be maybe what do you think about the stand-up paddleboard community? For someone that doesn't know that community, how does it look like from your perspective?
I love it. I think it is one of the best sport community that I've ever been around and been in. Just everybody's so friendly. Everybody that I've met, just they're so nice. You create these amazing relationships and bonds with people that then they're like, hey, come to my house in France or in Europe or in Hawaii or in anywhere in the world, and they welcome you just because you share the same passion, and they know what it's like to be an athlete, that it's not easy financially and you want to travel and get all these experiences, but sometimes it's really hard. So I've been very blessed to have meet very, very nice people. And I think everybody, like everybody that I can think of, is just really nice in the community. So
And how did you pick your discipline in the stand-up paddleboard? Because you're saying you like technical and sprint. How did you pick those and not? I know you don't have a surf background, but why didn't you take surf like sub surf?
yeah. Honestly, I started off more of doing distance races, but I don't I never enjoyed them. Like I really do not enjoy doing more than an hour and a half paddling. I've done 40-kilometer races, but honestly it's not the same. Like I love the short distance, intense, like very push hard for a small amount of time. I think I'm very explosive. My body type is really good for sprinting. And yeah, I just enjoy it a lot more. And yeah.
And so that linked to that question, you were saying that now, so you're in Brazil. It's been like a week or so, and so now you have someone that is training you. Is it the first time for you?
Yeah. So I mean, it's not the first time that someone's been training me. It's the first time someone's been training me in person,
Okay.
which it's everything, because I've had I've been very, very blessed to be trained by Candace Appleby, world champion. She is the queen of stand-up paddling. She one day wrote to me that she was starting this training group called Ocean Academy,
Okay.
which she still does. It's amazing. And that she sees something in me that is rare, and that she wanted to train me. And I was just like, is this really happening? Like, Candace Appleby wants to train me. Like, wow. It was just literally a dream come true. And I trained with her online for a good couple of months. And it just was really hard because she was also an athlete trying, like, for the Pan Americans, ISA. So she was really focused on her thing. And yeah, it was great. Like it was online, but it's really hard to be able to analyze what I'm doing over the computer with somebody else. Like it's so much better in person. So yeah, now I'm here in Brazil. I'm training with Lena Rivero and her husband Americo, and Yeah, Lena is the first woman to win a gold medal at the Pan Americans for stand up paddling. So yeah, she's so strong. She is incredible.
How old is she?
She, I believe, is 41,
Okay.
but
Okay.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're already at the beginning of your career. She's 41. You're like, oh, I have time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But she does not look her age. She is so strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just great people. Her and her husband, I have the best time with them all the time. I'm always laughing. Like they can be super serious, but then at the same time they can be like super goofy. And I just love it.
That's nice. Uh, okay. I would have maybe just one more question. Would be, I saw you in your stories on Instagram traveling with your stand-up paddleboard, which is like it's huge. It's really really big. I'm traveling with like counterfeit equipment, and it's like probably twice or maybe three times the size of what you like. Your thing is three times the size of my board. Uh, how do you manage that? Taking an airplane and skateboarding in an airport as well, which is very fun.
Much fun. I did not know you were allowed to, and now I'm doing it every time. You get so quickly from A to B. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, traveling with the 14-foot race boards is very stressful. Like, wow, I've been very lucky a lot of times that they have let me take it, but honestly, airlines, they have a certain limit.
Yeah.
It's normally 9.5, 10 feet maximum.
Yeah.
These are 14. So sometimes you walk into the airport and they're just like looking at you like, what are you trying to do here? Like, where are you going? And I've been rejected a few times from airlines with the board, and I have to like call my sister or somebody like, hey, please come pick up the board. They're not taking it.
Okay.
And
And is it like we were talking about the community within the stand-up paddleboard community? Uh, what would be for you the top two airline companies that you've been rejected by all was it always the same companies?
no. So really the biggest tip I can give anybody that's going to travel with a 40-foot race board is pick an airline, either American airline, Frontier. I've had really good luck with them. Alaska airline. And I think those are my top three that I personally have traveled with. So mainly these are in the United States. I don't know about Europe and all that.
Yeah.
But and check about the airplane that you're gonna go on. Is it out of a big airport? Has to be out of a big airport. Has to be one of the big planes. Like you can check if it's three seats, and three seats. Those are normally huge airplanes, so they really don't have an excuse to tell you that it doesn't fit because it will. And so just really check what airplane you're going on. Like if it just has like two seats and two seats, too small. It has to have at least three lanes, and probably the best is if it has three seats. So yeah, that's definitely the biggest tip I can give anybody.
So okay, so now I have a new question for you. Imagine the SUP is in the Olympics. Everyone is flying from their country. How are they going to make sure that every athlete have their SUP? Would they supply the stand-ups somehow maybe?
So I would think if you're coming from a farther away place, your best bet is to ship it on on a boat, on a big cargo.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're kind of close, then you can probably get away with the airport. But yeah, best way is to ship it on a boat or try to find a board brand that has boards in that place. So that's
Yeah, through like via a sponsor like Infinity, let's say Infinity France, if it's in France or if it's whatever, right? They provide the board. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense. That would make sense. But depending on your country, maybe yes, maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I had question I didn't think I was going to have, but that's very interesting. Do you have something maybe that you want to add to your little episode? Someone to thank. I know you want to say thank you to Francisco for sure, but
Yeah, I always tell him thank you. Like he knows how thankful I am. But yeah, just all I give all my glory to the Creator, to God, and Jesus Christ, who guide me day to day, and I put all my faith in them. And just yeah, thanks to everybody that has helped me in this whole journey. Like there's so many people that along these past years that have just helped me out with so many things, like if it's lodging, if it's board lending, paddle lending, like
yeah,
everything. Like people, I love you all. You guys are amazing. I wouldn't be where I am without you guys, and my family is so supportive, friends, and yeah, I'm just stoked and ready for the next chapter.
perfect. Well, thank you very much, Juliette. I'm not going to take more of your time. I know it's precious. Well, how hot is it in Brazil right now?
Right now, it's actually a super windy day, so it's pretty chilly. But it's been in like the I would say from like 75 to 90,
Oh,
maybe around ranges. So there's been really hot days, but then there's also been a little chillier days.
it's summer right now. Right? It's the beginning of summer, right? Yeah.
Winter. Well, today's the first day of spring, I believe.
Yes, yes, yes. You're going to summer. Yes, because it's southern hemisphere. Good. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and all the stories. And I'm sure we're gonna keep the contact on and follow you for sure, as it is just the beginning for you. So thank you very much for your time and for passing by. And I wish you all the best in what you do.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.
See you soon.